Welcome to the Echo Tips podcast.
Here's a sneak peek into what we're going to cover in this week's episode of the Echo Tips podcast.
Hello. Your device is ready for setup. Just follow the instructions in your Alexa app.
Hola. Vamos a empezar. Instala la app de Alexa y sigue las instrucciones.
Hello, and welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. It's good to have you all with us this week. We're going to be revisiting a topic that we started to address at a real 10,000-foot level last week, and that is setting up an Amazon Echo with or without a screen, that being like the Echo Dots or Pops, all the way over to the Echo Show line of devices. But today, in particular, we're going to be covering the ones without a screen, and we're going to do a little crash course on how you would take one out of the box and set it up. And so we're going to actually take you through that, try to be snappy about it, and some of the things that you will encounter, the little roadblocks, the questions in your brain, like, do I want that service on or not? What is this sidewalk thing that it's talking about? You know, all sorts of questions that come up when you're setting up a brand new Amazon Echo. Since many of you may be buying them at discounts during the holiday season, I know I certainly am. And as we covered in previous episodes about some of the buying guides for Echoes, Echo Shows, what's a good deal, what's a bad deal, what's old equipment, what's brand new equipment, by all means, go back and check out those past episodes. And for a high level about setting up both types of devices, by all means, check out the previous episode where we talk about a lot of that and maybe how it has changed over time. Now, I'd like to welcome our new listeners and our returning listeners as well. For our new listeners, my name is David Ward. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill, and I'm based here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Southwest Virginia on the eastern seaboard. So it's good to have you guys here with us, and for our returning listeners as well. Now, if you're wondering what this podcast is about, since maybe this is your first time tuning in, we try to cover a wide range of equipment, announcements, AI, skills, things for kids, things for parents, caregivers, the elderly, accessibility tools for those with disabilities, home automation, pretty much anything to do with the A-Lady and the Amazon line of devices. We try to cover that kind of stuff. And in our past catalog of 5 seasons, you'll find a wealth of information about how the Echo has evolved over this time in the A-Lady. And we're looking forward to the AI smarts that are going to be coming soon. Well, before we delve into our setup process, where I'm going to be taking an Echo Dot here sitting beside me on the desk, and we'll go through the real quick setup procedure. Before we get into all that nitty-gritty, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then we will be right back. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Well, hello, and welcome back to the podcast. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing a setup routine with an Amazon Echo Dot today and taking you through the preliminary kind of step-by-step. I'm going to try and keep it snappy, and so you know exactly some of the roadblocks and hurdles you may encounter. Now, I will mention I might sound a little weird today. I'm just getting over some kind of cold or allergy thing, and so just bear in mind that's why I might sound a little funky today. Now, what we're not going to cover today is installing the app on your tablet or smartphone on Android or iOS. But by all means, you're going to want to do that ahead of time and set it up. You want to make sure that if it's on iOS, it's from AMZN Mobile LLC. And if you're on the Google Play Store or Android, you'll make sure it's from Amazon Mobile, LLC. And so you can go ahead and set that up with your Amazon account or set up a free account, which doesn't require a credit card, and follow the procedures to do that and enable it, give it all the rights it needs so it can do networking and different things like that. Or contacts if you want to set up some sort of communication capability with your Echo, from Echo to Echo communication. A lot of this is covered in the previous episode, so if you want more information about that, check that higher level view up. But we're not going to cover that today. We're going to assume that you already have the app ready and going on a tablet or smartphone. And so you're taking Echo out of the box and it is plugged in, and boom, it is in setup mode. Okay, so let's press on here. I am plugging in my Echo Dot here. It's been factory reset, so it's going to act like it was just brand new out of the box. Here it is. Little sound jingle they play.
Hello. Your device is ready for setup. Just follow the instructions in your Alexa app.
Hola, vamos a empezar. Instala la app de Alexa y sigue las instrucciones. Bonjour. Votre appareil est prêt pour la
Okay, so she's going to keep on rambling until I get the app open. So let's do that on my phone here. Like I said, we have the screen reader going here so you can hear what's happening. I'm going to ask Siri, open Alexa app. Now here in the Alexa app, you can go to the Devices tab and then Add Device. Down at the bottom is Devices tab, and then hit the Add button in the top right, I believe. But with the Bluetooth, oh, there it is. It just automatically detected it. So here it says,
a black menu. Echo Dot is ready for setup.
Echo Dot is ready. So it automatically detected it. It makes it super easy. That's why I said make sure you have the Bluetooth on before you open the app. So it has some legalese here. I'm going to go down to I agree.
By tapping Alexa term and all the term here, later. Agree and continue.
I agree and
button.
continue. I'm going to double tap. I'm going to tap on that.
Night sky.
Okay. I got an auditory cue from the Echo that there's a connection made now, and it'll probably announce it in just a second.
Connecting to your saved Wi-Fi, Ziggy. Your Echo Dot is now connected to Ziggy.
So look at
Your
that.
Echo is ready.
It automatically connected it to a pre-set up Wi-Fi, and I didn't even have to do hardly anything there. Now, your mileage may vary in that regards.
Night sky. Your Echo Dot is now connected to Ziggy.
Which is Ziggy's my Wi-Fi access point. All right, let's press on. And in this case, I'm just going to hit continue because that's already done for me.
Continue button.
All right.
Continue.
I'm getting prompted now.
Things to know. Features 4 buttons. Action. Volume up
So a
slash down.
little explanation of
Mic
the
off.
physical components of the Echo, the buttons and stuff. So I'm going to hit continue on that.
Continue button. Continue. Recommended language. Choose a language for Alexa.
Now I have recommended languages, or do I want bilingual support or whatever. In my case, it's pre-selecting English.
These languages are not fully supported in your country. Continue.
I'm just going to go down to the continue button at the bottom since English is pre-selected.
Continue. Which room is your Echo Dot in?
Now this can be helpful is you want to, kind of divvy out which Echoes are in different areas. This one's in my home office, so I'm going to go down here.
This will help your group, kitchen, living room, office, radio
Office, I'm going
button.
to select that.
Not
And then I'm going to hit
set up.
continue.
Continue button. Set up. Enter a new address. Link.
Okay, I might bleep this out, but it's going to select your address. So I have Echoes at work and at home in different locations, and that can change the location services, So for example, if I ask the Echo, where's the nearest Wendy's? This kind of information will be applicable. So I'm just going to bleep this out, and I'm going to select my address.
And say continue.
I'm going to hit
button.
continue.
Continue. Enable button.
All right, now this is an interesting screen that's relatively new in the last couple of years.
Sidewalk is a shared network that helps compatible devices work better at home and beyond the front door. If Wi-Fi is lost, enable but disable button.
So it's asking me, do I want to enable sidewalk support on this device? That's a special radio spectrum that's also like firewalled off from all of your private networking that allows basically smart devices, like a good example would be something that's far away, like a mailbox sensor or something like that, to be able to piggyback on your Echo and use a finite amount of data or resources. Could be really useful for you if they're your smart devices, but the one caveat here is it does allow other neighbor devices, say their mailbox couldn't quite always make a good connection to their system, they could piggyback on yours. So use a finite amount of data. We're talking about very small amounts of data to kind of like create a mesh network for the neighborhood and stuff like that. I'm just going to say no for right now, but it is a really well-designed system. If you have any concerns about the security and stuff, they did a really fantastic job on this. I would encourage you to check out Steve Gibson's episode on security now about that. But for now, I'm just going to hit do not enable or disable.
Disable button. Disable. Night sky. Get started with Alexa.
Okay, we got this walkthrough here that we're in.
Your Echo Dot is ready. Next, let's go button.
Okay, I'm going to hit let's go. Yeehaw.
Let's go. Device plugs button. Lights button. Quick add button.
Oh.
Plug. Alpha plug.
Okay.
Alpha.
I think that was basically it. So it popped me back out to the main devices listing and we were good to go. Now, I think your mileage may vary. If you're a brand new user, you may be prompted. In fact, I know you will probably be prompted. Do you want to use Amazon Music? Do you want to use Audible Books? It's going to do a lot of upselling to you. I didn't get any of that, which I'm kind of surprised about. And you may get additional recommendations as well. Like, do you want to enable Amazon communication? Like if you want to call a friend who also has an Alexa. But anywho, that gives you a real quick crash course on this setup procedure. And a lot of this mirrors what would happen to if you were to change Wi-Fi access points for some reason. A lot of the process is very similar. The core, I would say, is make sure that your Bluetooth functionality is on whenever the Echo goes into setup mode. It makes it a whole lot easier. You don't have to jump out of the app and go into settings and do a manual Wi-Fi connection and then jump back. You avoid a lot of that old legacy manual way of doing this when the Bluetooth is already enabled. All right, well, I hope that helps you set up a Amazon Echo device without a screen, like an Echo Dot, an Echo Pop, an Echo Studio, or just a traditional Echo. If you have any thoughts or suggestions for a future episode that we might conduct, we would love to hear your feedback, and or if you hear more about those AI things coming out. Maybe you got enrolled in the beta program or beta testing some of that stuff. We'd love to hear about that as well. You can reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter, now known as X, at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys. And you can even email me. That's your old-fashioned email, right? Put a stamp on the envelope. And at info@goodwillvalleys.com. And you can just put in the subject or in the Facebook or Twitter post, just say something about trying to direct this to Dave of the Echo Tips podcast or the New Vision program, and it will find its way to me. Well, until next time, it's time to turn the ears back on your Echo. Start practicing some of the many, many things that you've learned, or try out those new devices that you're getting. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program at Goodwill, and we do thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. Let me tell you a bit more. Let me put on my official sounding voice. Ahem. Ahem. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Phew! Thanks for listening.